All right, and welcome back to episode 31 of Modern Prescription. My name is Dr. Deepak Dugar.
And I'm Dr. Jeff Toll, and we really did 31.
We did 31.
They just keep getting better.
I know. And today we have a super special guest, Nina Drama, otherwise known as Nina Marie Danielle.
So funny.
She's hilarious. She's literally, if you guys haven't watched her stuff, Nina Drama on Instagram and TikTok. 2 million followers as of today on TikTok.
Crazy.
Killing it. And she's...
Almost as many as our podcast.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're climbing. And she's amazing. And she's a friend of mine and she's a patient of mine. And she's just an amazing person. And I'm super excited to get her insight.
Excited to have her on.
Yeah. So, and other cool stuff going on this week. So, GameStop. How cool is that?
I missed the bus.
Did you invest at all?
I really missed the bus on that one.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't buy
I'm a pretty active trader, but not like... I'm busy during the day, so I can't be...
I know. You get like 7,000 texts about... And then you're catching up with your 19th patient you're late with. There's no way.
But no, that's crazy, obviously.
I know.
Reddit strikes again.
Reddit strike. It's interesting because they're really taking the power to the common man and they're just kind of saying that we don't need this corporate structures anymore. But the game is rigged and rigged games are rigged for the people who rigged it. So we'll see. I don't know how this all plays out, but I think it's definitely interesting. And I think it's going to affect the bigger picture of life in general, because we're learning. Like I was at restaurants just opened in LA, obviously. And so I was at dinner on Friday and my waiter was saying, we can do anything, like with a really powerful conviction. And he's right in a way, like the common man now has ability to do anything. So as a force, you know? So very interesting.
For good or bad.
For good or bad, like what we saw happen yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's probably a very similar example. Probably could have started on Reddit or some other chat
platform
or whatever. But basically, at Dodger Stadium, they converted to a big vaccination COVID center. And basically some anti-vaxxers set up a roadblock to try to not allow people to get vaccinated.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Crazy.
And they had to shut down the whole thing.
I really had no idea the anti-vax thing was so big until COVID. I knew it was out there, but I didn't understand that really smart, educated people are
anti-vax.
Anti-vax or very skeptical or whatever.
And I think social media just empowered them even more because now there's echoing of the information, which is sad.
And it's always echoing the most controversial thing.
Right. Like I read an article there saying Bill Gates was like, what the hell happened last year? Because he got portrayed as this villain trying to inject Microsoft into our arms or something. Right. And he's like, I'm just trying to help.
Right.
I'm just trying to help.
And obviously around the world, all these terrible diseases like smallpox barely exist or don't exist anymore.
Because of people like him.
Because of vaccines.
Yeah.
And now,
I know. They were saying that people were waiting in line for 3 to 4 hours at Dodger Stadium to get their vaccine, and then were told they had to leave and go home.
Wow, because of the roadblock.
Because of the roadblock that the anti-vaxxers did.
This whole vaccine rollout. I know we've talked about it, so I won't belabor it, but unbelievably terrible.
I know.
And now I'm reading, too, that some of the variants actually are not going to be covered by these first vaccines, especially the South African variant that spread really fast there. The efficacy from the Moderna vaccine, I think, is down to 57%.
Oh, I thought it was like the 90s.
No, I think it's less.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Pfizer's still good, though?
Yeah, I think Pfizer one's better. But I think we're going to find out that there are variants that we don't know about, and they won't. The way that Darwinian evolution works is we will find out about them a year from now once people are vaccinated with this. Because if there are strains that are resistant to the vaccine, they may not even be prevalent now. They may be minor strains now, but their advantage is actually that they happen to have some resistance to the vaccine, and then they'll become the predominant strain.
Kind of like antibiotic resistance in hospitals, right? Like everyone takes the same antibiotic over and over, and then this new strain develops.
But even more, because the vaccine will be it would be like if everyone was on the same exact antibiotic all at the same time, and it would create a
antibiotic resistant organism that would be able to super strain.
So I think it's extremely likely we're all going to be vaccinated at least annually, maybe every 6 months, after this for COVID.
Boosters,
Just like we all get the flu shot once a year, we will all get the COVID vaccine at least once a year, probably maybe twice, depending. I think in the short term, it may be more because, like every 6 months, for example, once there's enough vaccine available because of how many strains there are and changing. But once it goes from a pandemic to just being like seasonal, once there's more control over it, then it'll probably be once or twice a year.
Yeah, that sounds very
I'm ready
reasonable.
for it all to end.
I know.
ready for it
At least
all
thank God LA finally reopened restaurants.
Yeah.
We're super behind the rest of the country for outdoor dining.
I
Only
agree.
outdoor.
I think especially in LA, it really probably just made things worse.
Yeah, because indoor events and parties that
people
were
were still
totally
having-
unregulated.
Right. Even
Yeah.
if you're having one or two other friends or couples over for dinner, that's worse than being outdoors in a controlled environment for the same dinner.
Yeah, for the exact same dinner. Exactly. So I'm really thankful that that's open again. And hopefully that gives people an outlet to have some normal socialization again.
I think we're all ready for some.
I know.
And hopefully the vaccine starts rolling out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. So today we're going to talk to Miss Nina. She's going to talk to us a lot about social media concepts, as she's a hustler. Like, this is not like a normal social media person. Like, I know a lot of social media people. Obviously, both of us take care of a lot of these patients. But a lot of them are famous because they're just really good looking or hot.
Yeah.
And so it's different. They're not hustling.
Yeah.
She is a hustler. Like, she's part of this crew of these really talented influencers who work their butt off. Like, these people, they film 12, 15-hour days. Like, I hang out with them sometimes. Like, just a week ago, I was filming a video with her and our mutual friend, Adam W., Adam Wahid, who's a super talented superstar influencer. And it's like Saturday. Like, on Saturday, what do you do on Saturday? You just go for hikes?
Yesterday, I was in the mountains.
You're in the mountains, right? They're working for 15 hours shooting a video just to get one 30-second piece of content made.
Yeah.
Like,
Amazing.
it's amazing. So I can't wait to hear more of her insight and talk to her about the beauty and struggles behind being a social media creator.
I think it's so cool because a lot of them, may have come to LA. I want to be an actor. I want to be this, that. And they've managed to do it themselves. They didn't need to wait for someone to pick them or choose them or put them in something. They just did it, and people love them, and that's awesome.
And they realize that they can do it without the big man. Just
that's
like
what I mean.
The Reddit army.
Exactly. I think that's, changed it. Everyone really can do it themselves.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And can't wait to talk to her.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and we are back with this is a huge guest
Very
for us.
excited.
I mean, Nina Marie
I'm excited to
Danielle
laugh today.
Huge. Nina Drama on Instagram and on TikTok, right? Nina Drama?
Yeah. And on
oh my
TikTok.
God, huge. 2 million followers as of today on TikTok.
As of today.
Oh my gosh, huge. What an honor. How crazy is it that 2 million people are watching what you do every single day?
I ask myself why every day. I have no idea.
When did you start your social media journey?
I started. I'm gonna drop this. I started. Let's see. I started Instagram a few years ago actively. I've had it for I think like since 2014.
Okay.
But I got it because I used to model.
Mm-hmm.
So my agent was like, "This is the new platform. You got to get on." And I was like, I don't know what to do on here. And that's when, it just came out, and we were going to castings, and you would see, other models there, the same castings as you, and you go and you sign in and everything like that. And then there was this new section on the sign-in sheet that said like Instagram followers.
Oh,
and
wow.
We were like, I remember me and other girlfriends I had that were models too. We had like 100 followers on Instagram, and we're like, what's happening? And then we would see these other girls that like we'd never been at castings with before, and they had like 40,000 K or 40,000 K, 40,000 followers or 100,000 followers. And we're like, wow, this is really happening. Like, we have to get on the Instagram train and figure it out, or else like all of these girls that have mastered social media are going to come in and just take over.
Wow.
So I started then, but I didn't actively start to try to grow my account until maybe 3 years ago.
Wow. When did you join TikTok?
A year and a few months ago.
That's impressive.
Wow.
To have 2 million followers and you've only been on it for like a year?
Well, it was during COVID. I took it there.
What did you do during COVID? How does COVID work for an influencer who's making videos all the time? And your videos are always with other people, right? So like,
yeah.
How did you guys navigate when it first started? What was your how did you guys even think about this?
I don't know. Like when COVID first started, we were trying to figure out what the angle was. Because in the beginning, it's like, you don't know, like, where can you go? Where can you not go? Like, is this appropriate? Is this not okay?
Yeah.
Like, should I just stay home? And so it was just like constantly brainstorming new ideas and different parts of the house that we could use. And you kind of just like accept your environment for what it is. And then you have to either adapt or nothing's going to really work for you. So we just accepted, okay, this is our environment now. How do we use it to the best of our ability? And I did a lot of videos on the roof. I did like we got a ladder and we did a bunch of prank videos where it's like my boyfriend and his sister were like in the courtyard, like on the laptop working from home, and like I'd throw mayonnaise off the roof or something.
Oh
it's
my
like
God, hilarious.
So ridiculous, like ridiculous videos. But you know, you figure it out like one way or another. I feel like most content creators like we're on the road somewhere and things are going really well, and then bam, you hit a wall and you're just like, what do I do next? And then you're just sort of forced to figure it out. Like, what am I going to do? What content's next? What's more relevant? What works on my page? And then you don't have a choice.
What's that process like for you? Is that like 2 a.m. middle of the night? You're just brainstorming on your phone, or
I'm
you like
sleeping.
you wake up in the morning and take a notepad and write it down?
It's kind of like it kind of just it's like I'll be driving and I'll have an idea. I'll see something will happen to me and I have to write it down. I don't have a short-term memory. It doesn't exist. So I'll have like notes in my phone, and every time something happens, I'll write it down, or I'll text it to my boyfriend, or something like this. And we'll try to shoot the video or shoot the idea, and it's just not feasible. Like we we shot this one video on the beach, and it was like, I don't know if you ever see those like the two hot dogs on the beach, or I'm not explaining this right. You have two hot dogs, but they're not hot dogs. They're legs, but they're not legs. They're hot dogs.
Yeah.
And like it's supposed to be this weird optical illusion, but they're hot dogs.
Yeah.
It's a really stupid video. Really stupid video. So it's really hard because it originates as like a photo. So we tried to make it into a video, but it looks like hot dogs.
That's like just
I
on
don't
the beach.
know. I don't know where I'm going with
No, but
this.
I love it because
But sometimes you have an idea, you think it's going
I'm
to work.
still unclear as to whether those photos are actually hot dogs or legs.
Sometimes you wonder. And then I realize it's really hard to make them look like legs. So
that's hilarious. I'm just intrigued because it's insane how you come up with different. I follow you obviously, and I see all your videos, and every single video you post is unique and different, and like you just keep coming up with ideas. It's like nonstop, and I don't get it. I don't understand where that comes from.
I don't know. My brain is not. It's everywhere. I think as I've gotten older, I've tried to find ways to focus my energy more, but it's just always everywhere. It's like as if like you had all these different dinner plates and you had pieces of ideas on each of them, and you're like, which one do I work with? And then you start working over here on this plate, and you're like, no, I want to taste this one. And so it's like you're all over the place, all over the time, and that's something that I've always struggled with.
I think that's very cool because, traditionally when you're in school and stuff, everyone wants you to like have perfect focus and attention and to do one task at a time.
Yeah.
But in life, that's not the skill that makes you good at everything. It makes you good at certain things like school, but it doesn't necessarily make you good at being creative. And I think it's really cool that people have taken advantage of, I guess, technology to be able to express themselves and take advantage of it's actually a skill that you have that.
Huge.
It's just different. It's just in the old way of thinking that wasn't, obviously it's a skill. I mean, look how well it's going. And so I think that's interesting.
Yeah. And do you think as a female creator, that do you feel like you get more or less slack than some of your male creators?
No, it's rough.
It's rough?
It's savage.
Why?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Why?
It's really funny. It's like, I feel like there's, and this is just from personal experience. I can't speak on everybody, but it was really hard to transition from being a model into comedy. There's no one likes to see both together.
Interesting. So they want their comedian to not be sexy.
I don't know how to put it without it coming out wrong. But it's like how do I phrase this? For instance, I'll post a photo of myself and people are like, stick to comedy. something.
Oh my
then
God.
I'll post a video. People are like, stick to modeling. It's like you can't win.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to, take it for what it is and do what makes you happy, obviously, or else
Right.
you're going to spend the rest of your life trying to please everybody. And that's not the point of social media.
Right.
Like, I think you
Right.
can get sucked into feeling that way, but you're never going to please everybody. But I think people don't want to see, I don't know, it's hard to blend the two, like modeling and comedy or sexy. And like, for instance, I posted a photo 3 days ago that was a little on the risque side, but it was kind of like a Instagram versus reality sort of thing.
Yeah.
And immediately I lost like 3,000 followers.
I saw you doing the count. Yeah,
Yes,
I saw
yes.
it. Yeah.
And my DMs were like, you can't do both. We want to see you with clothes on. And I'm like, I didn't even post. Like, I don't post anything risky or anything like that. I have super family friendly content. Like, I don't curse. I don't drink. I don't smoke. None of that. I don't ever
At least
post.
not on the post.
No. Like, I am,
Yeah.
I am as square as they come.
Yeah.
I don't even do CBD or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're a wholesome creator. Yeah.
But like, so when I realized that, but the engagement was super high.
Because everyone was commenting.
Everyone was commenting. And it
that's a
wasn't
great
even
point.
like negative. It was, and whether people have positive things or negative things to say,
They're still
it doesn't
engaging.
matter. They're still engaging. That's all I care about. But especially if I'm not posting anything that's intentionally meant to trigger someone in a negative way, I would never do that.
Right.
At least not intentionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, the post, it was really eye-opening to what the people that follow me want to see and what they're willing to engage with. And it was just like black and white. Like people were like really mad because they were like, we see you wholesome and we love your cringy content and we can't accept that you have boobs. You know what I mean? And then the other half, it's like it almost had 100,000 likes and I have 800,000 followers. So when you do the ratio, you're kind of like, that's a lot of interaction for one photo.
Of course.
But then it's also very triggering for a lot of people.
Because when you compare it to your male colleagues who obviously post shirtless selfies all the time, and they have this this sexy version of themselves with the comedy, and it blends.
They're like, yeah, we love it. We love like attractive guys that are funny, like cool. And then it's like, and I don't even see myself that way, but for the people that do, they're like, it doesn't make sense. My brain can't compute it. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like I never know. So
were you always a funny girl?
I don't think I'm funny at all.
But in your head, did you always think this unique way, or is this something that came later? Because you definitely think in a different way.
I definitely think in a different way, and I think if I put what I thought on the internet, it would be this weird niche little community that's like.
But they would worship you.
That it would just be like me and 4 people like on the internet.
The Nina cult.
So I have to try really hard to like separate what makes sense just to me and what I think would make sense like as a concept. So I think I always thought this way, and I realized that maybe because I feel like I relate to a lot of people, but the way in which I explain things is not always the vice versa. It's not a vice versa type of situation.
Got it.
Because it can be so out there sometimes. So it's like I'll be talking to my friends and they're just like, and I'm like, just forget it. Just completely forget it. And then like I'll be stuck on this one idea or concept, and it has to come out. So it doesn't matter how long. Like for instance, right now, like I will just ramble for the next hour until whatever I'm trying to say has to come out because it's just like mulling over in my brain, and it'll just like sit in the front of like, what's this medical term
Frontal
called?
cortex.
It's stuck in my frontal cortex, and it like blinds me until I can like let it out of my body. And my friend they've accepted it.
Wow. What do you think about?
Everyone's gonna be like, this girl's crazy.
No, I love this. I love the honesty because I think a lot of people look at social media content and creators like these perfect human beings who like have it all sought out and it's all planned out. And you wake up every morning, you're like, all right, 8:00 skit, 8:30, champagne and mansion. You know, it's like they have this view of you guys. Yeah. I mean, especially with the amount of followers you have, I feel like that's just the concept. So with cancel culture, like this year has been a lot of canceling. Me and Jeff talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of cancel
A
culture.
lot of cancel culture.
Do you ever worry about posting something and thinking, oh man, this is really going to backfire? Aside from the sexy photo thing you talked about.
I mean, knock on wood.
Does drywall,
Well, not
does drywall count?
I don't really post. For me personally, I stay off Twitter because I feel like that's where people go to have their career die. It's like on Twitter. So I'll wake up every morning and see what's going on and what's trending and read what people are doing and stuff. But for all of the thoughts and things that I have, like I said, sometimes it'll make sense to me, or I'll be having a conversation with somebody and then I'm watching them react to me and it's not the reaction I was expecting. And then they'll respond to me and I'm like, I can see how you thought that I would have said that, or that's what I meant, but that's not what I meant at all. And I feel like with Twitter, it's very much like that. And a lot of the times people get caught saying one thing and then having the interpretation like rise above the initial initial statement, and all of a sudden now you're canceled.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not what I meant, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Because whoever reinterpreted it in a different way, that has all of the attention, and now you're screwed.
Great point. Yeah, it's about attention and focus on whatever the idea is.
Yeah.
If your idea gets misinterpreted and there's more attention towards the misinterpretation,
Exactly.
then you can still be
What do you
canceled.
do? Then all you can do is say, I'm sorry, or like, that's not what I meant. And people don't even like either. Like you can say sorry and then they're like, well, you're still going to do it. Or you can say, oh, that's not what I meant. And you're like, well, that's what you said. It doesn't matter what you do.
Wow.
But with cancel culture, like I feel like I just make videos that have nothing to do with anything. Like if they do, it's very like surface. I don't want to like get too deep with stuff because I don't know. I feel like we live in a time where I just want to have a page that just makes people laugh or cringe, but like get them riled up.
Right. No, but it does. And you have you're really tactful, I've noticed. Like you're not doing social media posting emotionally. You're very tactful. Like when you
there's
post
no emotion behind it.
Yeah, but it's just so smart. Like I see when you post a video, you hype it up before you drop it, and then you're hyping it up as it's coming out, and then people are reposting, you're reposting what they reposted. Like you're very tactical. And I don't see that in a lot of creators. I feel like a lot of creators just put their content out and they just pray for the best.
Yeah. I think when I put something out, I like engaging with the people that engage with me. Sorry. Because I'm appreciative of everyone that takes the time to write to me. And I get a lot of really sweet DMs. I get a lot of weird DMs too. But I mean, they're all interesting. I wanted to make like a coffee table book of like the most people will say anything. Like it blows my mind. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Sometimes it's like I'll read through my DMs and I'm like, how did you think this was going to pan out? Like, what did you think was going to happen from this? But I think there's like this like excitement of the unknown. Like, if I say this, will this person respond and how? And like, that's the excitement.
Or a lot of these overtly sexual, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Overtly is an understatement. And you're just like, what's happening? But I think there's that excitement in the unknown and the possibility that something might come out of it that's more intriguing than the actual response. And I think that's where that comes from. So whenever I read these DMs, all I can do is like laugh, or I don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with like my posts and stuff. I just like to engage with people that engage with me, whether it's positive or negative, because I don't have any emotion towards it. I don't take what I do and I don't make it into an art.
Yeah.
Because I feel like art there's a lot of passion and feeling behind it, and you're very vulnerable in your art, So when you put it out there, you hope that it's reciprocated. And when it's not reciprocated, you feel that there's unrequited love for something you feel passionate about. Right. And then it kind of makes you feel insecure about what you're doing if you're not receiving the same love for what you love.
Wow, that was really well put. Yeah.
Seriously?
That's really well put. Yeah.
But that's why I'm not tied to anything emotionally, because then I feel like if I did, it would stop me from keep creating. So I just
Interesting. So you kind of free yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, a lot of people this year in general were also separated and so far away from each other that just mentally, no matter what job you have, it's without being in the office or seeing people, it's hard to get good feedback. But I agree that you're vulnerable to million people that are seeing what you're doing every day.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how if something goes well, not well, how with yourself and your other influencer friends that you make videos with, do you guys ever feel sad or depressed or anxious about posting or what you're putting up there? Or
I think
you're mostly having fun with it.
I have a lot of friends who are creators. How do I say it? They're very passionate people. And I'm a passionate person, but I'm passionate for only a handful of things. And that's my family and my partner and my animals.
Yeah.
Everything else, I've gone from having nothing to having everything. And to me, everything is like my family. And I'm sure that is for everybody else too. But in my mind, I had to train my mind into not being like emotionally or passionate about something that I'm being vulnerable with. Because I try to share my vulnerability through my videos and my Insta stories and stuff like that. And I try to create relatable content.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I were to tie myself personally to it, then it would block me from being actually relatable to my followers.
Because you feel like it would create like an emotion. You would try to separate yourself from it.
I wouldn't
maybe
be unbiased in my feelings about stuff. And I think when you become biased in your feelings about something because it's personal to you, then it creates less of a dynamic between you and someone else because you don't understand why they wouldn't feel the same way you do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does, because you're now objectifying the way they would feel about it because you're so personally biased.
Yes. So then it creates a distance between you and the people that are engaging with you.
Right. And you want to keep that completely open.
And I want to keep it open.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think
Wow.
that's why I kind of detach myself a lot from it because I've obsessed over this concept a lot. But then I have friends that are dancers and that's their art.
Yeah, so it's different. Yeah.
So it's different.
But and to pull back what you were saying earlier, so you feel like when they post a video of a piece of work that they put a lot of effort into and it doesn't get the admiration they were hoping for, that's when it can make them feel bad.
Yeah. And I think that's something, it's like, because a lot of people that have notoriety on Instagram, especially like on TikTok and stuff, they're dancers, and that dancers are very passionate because they're moving with love and intention, And when you post something like that, it's something that you're doing with your body and you want to know, like, is what I'm doing good enough? Is this feeling good enough? And then if people don't reciprocate it, it makes you feel not good enough. If you don't have a strong backbone. And I think that comes from, no, I take that back. I think that my backbone comes from modeling, where people told me I wasn't good enough every day. They told me like I was ugly. There was something wrong with my nose. My hair was ugly. My eyebrows were ugly. I was fat. My boobs were too big. I was curvy, or I was too short. All of these things.
Instead of letting that destroy you, you feel like that empowered you in a way?
Yeah, I was just like,
Wow.
I think that's applicable to really anything that anyone does. There's a certain level of vulnerability. If you go for anything, so start your own company, start your own clothing line, jewelry. If you just put anything out there, that you have to be willing to fail and willing to be vulnerable to be successful. And I think people, at least I think consumers kind of like are more attracted to people that are willing to have some vulnerability and people who are strong enough to kind of power through that.
yeah.
Well, like the day when you were posting your follower count going down, like, that was a very vulnerable moment. And you did it in such a classy, cool way. We were just kind of like, bye. And you weren't being like arrogant about it. You weren't being like, yeah, but it was so like, it was a truly vulnerable moment where I think you perfectly explained how you disassociate yourself emotionally from it just enough so that you leave that gap open for your followers to engage in a healthy way.
Yeah, in a healthy way to show them like, it's okay. Like I'm not tied to the people that aren't tied to me. And I saw this post the other day. I was like, I was up, I couldn't sleep. And it said, choose people that choose you. I was like, I feel that often, but I've never said it to myself with those words. Like, choose people that choose you. Because a lot of times we choose people that we wish chose us.
Yeah.
And we devote a lot of our attention to trying to get those people to choose us. And we lose ourselves along the way because we're trying to adapt to what we think that those people want from us. And what they want from us isn't always what we intrinsically need for ourselves. So I feel like if I'm not choosing the people that choose me, which are the people that choose to stay, then like, fuck them. Like, I don't, you know?
And I think that goes for everything in life. Yeah. Like, all of us are in healthy relationships right now. So we all understand that, wow, it's nice to want someone who wants you, right? But we've also all been in those phases of our life where you wanted someone who didn't want you, or someone wanted you who you didn't want, you know? And I think that we forget it's not just in our relationship, that's for life. Like, that's in your business, that's with your patients, that's with your followers, that's with your content creators. Like, and I like how you said it even better. Like, you know, your post versus the way you said it. I like the way you worded it even. What did you say right before?
I have no idea.
Oh man, it was so good.
I have no idea.
It was so good. Choose the people who choose you, or whatever. It was amazing. I'll rewind back and listen to it, but it was so good. Yeah. Because I think for a lot of the younger kids who are on social media right now, they have all these same feelings. It's just yours are amplified 2 million times. Because if some girl has 300 followers and it's her high school friends, or, you know, a guy has 400 followers and he's just posting stuff to feel good, versus you're doing it at an amplified level where it's like you really have to have a backbone. Otherwise, getting into this could be really dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous. And I think it's dangerous if your perspective isn't set up in a foundation in which if you were to fall, you had something to fall on. It's kind of like in Fortnite. You ever play Fortnite?
I know the concepts.
Okay. Well, in Fortnite, like, for instance, when you're building, let's say it's like a one-on-one. You're at the end. You know, whoever, you got to get the other guy so you can get the victory royale. That's what you want to do. You want to win. But it always comes down to who can build better. And a lot of people don't set up the foundation on the bottom. So if you just build straight to the top, someone can shoot you down and you fall to your death, basically, in Fortnite. And I spend so much time watching people, how they build their foundation. So if they're up at the top and they try to get cut off by the legs, they still fall onto something that's only centimeters below them. And I think that a lot of the times we just want to go to the top so fast that we don't have the patience or the diligence to build the foundation that's necessary to keep us there.
Wow.
And all it takes is sometimes to just do this and you fall, and it's really hard to get back to where you were because, you know, you didn't build the foundation that you should have spent the time building.
Yeah, that's a great point. And to echo that, like, really smartly, because a lot of influencers, you see the rise and fall of them. And then once in a while, we do see someone like Logan Paul, for example, who obviously got a really large hit in his life.
Yeah.
And he had enough stability and a huge platform that he grew right back. If anything, stronger than ever, even before that crazy video that, you know, kind of dethroned him for a hot second.
Yeah,
but he is exactly what you're talking about, of having that super strong foundation, someone like that. But there's a lot of influencers you see, where'd they go?
Yeah, you always.
What happened to them, you know?
There has to be like where are they now?
Yeah, where are they now? Influencer edition.
It's interesting. It's like, it's funny because I don't look at myself as an influencer, but that's the label I was given, you know. And so I don't care. I'm fine with it. I guess at the end of the day, like, what else would I be called, you know, or content creator, an influencer, and I think, like, I have to constantly remember I didn't ask to, you know, be an example for other people that are trying to do the same thing, but it kind of falls into your hands as time passes. And I think you have to be careful with what you do with that responsibility, because sometimes as an adult, you don't always ask for the responsibilities that you're given, but that's sort of your life chose that for you, and you have to deal with it, or else you kind of.
I think a lot of, you know, now, you know, this time it's a lot of influencers going through this, and I think over the years we've seen the same story with, you know, other types of celebrities, like actors child celebs who, you know, have problems after their peak of fame and stuff like that. And I have patients like that where they're trying to figure out what's next, kind of, and trying to like recenter their life and have a little structure and figure out where to go from here. And one of the things we talk about all the time is having mentorship in both of our careers was so helpful as we had someone to look at who we could kind of model our career after, who gave us advice and structure. And for a lot of influencers, they're also spread out on their own and probably don't reach out to others and like.
So how does that work in influencer world? Do you have mentors or do you have people that you have created? Like, I know there's people you do a lot of videos with over and over. So clearly these are friends and collaborators. But do you guys have like what
mentees?
Yeah,
kids
mentees
that are coming up. Right?
And mentors. Do you have like the ladder the way we do as doctors?
Yeah, I think so. Like I think a lot of the times the people that I reach out, because I always reach out. I know there's some people that don't, like I'll slide into anyone's DMs, if I like their work and want to work with them and hope that they'll reciprocate that and want to collab on something. But usually when I do that, it's because I see what they're doing and I like it. And I'm like, I want to learn how to do that. And I think that our energy can vibe together. We can do something cool together. So usually like what's the question?
So
do you have mentors and do you have mentees? Do you have people below you and above you that you...
I think like I do have people, I guess, above me that I listen to and I work with. I ask a lot of questions because it's really hard to figure it out on your own. And that goes with like anything. And I think I've always asked a lot of questions. And I think also I am an only child. And I think as an only child, like I made a lot of mistakes growing up because I didn't have anyone to learn from or anyone to model myself for. I didn't have any younger sister to be a role model to or anyone to look up to. I just made a lot of mistakes because I didn't know. And I think as I got older, I realized that if I don't ask questions and if I don't ask for help, which really, I have a hard time asking for help. And I think that's something like as a person I have to grow to be able to do and not feel kind of like my ego hurts.
That's a great point, yeah.
But it's, you have to because you can't do anything on your own. You can't get anywhere on your own. And I think it's really important. I always remembered this saying was like, always be good to the people on your way up because you never know who you're going to meet on your way down.
Wow, beautiful.
And I think that always stuck with me. And I think about that all the time. So I always work with people who are, give the time to mentor me and I ask questions. And then I always try to help whoever is coming to me and asking me for questions. I try to give them just as much time because I do the same thing every day. I'm in the same spot every day.
Wow, that's a great point. Be kind to the people on your way up because you don't know who you're on your way down. Beautiful. And then I love the concept of just understanding that everyone needs help and we have ability to give help. And there's an enjoyment, I think, in helping. Like we talk about like having the younger doctors and mentees. Like there's an enjoyment in mentoring someone and you know knowing that your advice that you gave them was actually positive.
I hope so.
Yeah, you hope so at least. I think that's a beautiful part of it.
And so, I think we've now hit that time where we have a little factor fiction. So what this little segment is we're going to take some stories that came out in the news, a lot of them medical related potentially, and just ask you whether you think this is true or not.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, China is using anal swabs for COVID testing. True or false? Fact or fiction?
It's true.
It's true. It is true.
I read this article too. I don't understand why, because why would that be an easier way to get people to get a sample?
I think they're doing the scare tactic is what I read in the article.
Really?
They're doing this as a scare tactic to their people to make sure that they understand that this is now the new threat. That's what my understanding was.
Like your butt?
They're going to poke your butt.
How far up do they go?
In the diagram they showed like a physician leaked it, like 1 or 2 inches up.
Oh my God. How thick is the swab?
I think the same one as the nose.
Q-tip.
Same one as the nose. Q-tip, yeah. Some people might line up for that. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. Because I remember when I was a kid, that's how they used to take your temperature.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it doesn't seem that far off. Yeah.
Have you
do
had
they do that anymore?
Rectal thermometers?
I don't think I've had my own rectal thermometer taken since I was a baby.
But they still do it for babies?
Yeah, we still do it for babies.
Okay.
It's a little more, because they won't really let you keep it in their mouth long enough.
Got it.
And under the armpit's not quite as
accurate. Right. Well, have you had a COVID test in your nose? Like, do you have the nose swab?
So you know my nose.
Yeah.
It's the minute they put it in, it's just like, it was horrible. horrible. I've had it done so many times, and every time it's like,
Does it flare up your allergies?
it's so bad. Like even thinking of you can see my nose is like, I'm having like, every time I get it, the last one I got, he put it so far up on the left side that a tear started coming out, and he's like, wow, it's really dry up there.
Yeah.
And he kept going, and then all of a sudden everything starts to pour out, my allergies.
Oh, no.
Because I can't really touch anything on the inside of my nose, and or else my allergies flare up, and it's just all day with like tissues in my nose, and it's bad.
Can I tell them a little bit about the inside of your nose?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
So the inside of your nose is crazy. Crazy. The outside's beautiful. Outside's amazing. But the inside of your nose is wild. It's wild. I mean, you have some of the worst allergies I've ever seen.
It's bad.
It's bad. Like so bad to the point where there's no like medical therapy that I can help her with or surgical
So
therapy.
maybe she would be a good candidate for the anal COVID test.
Yeah, I don't think so.
sign
I
me
don't
up.
think so. But yours is so bad to the point where I had to refer her to an allergist specialist who can do potentially immunotherapy on you, which is desensitizing someone's allergies so that they can now, your body can handle it. It's kind of like a vaccine. Like when we take a vaccine, vaccines help us fight, give defense mechanisms to fight against COVID. Immunotherapy is the opposite. It helps your body say, hey, it's okay. Like if pollen gets in your nose, relax, just chill, buddy. Because your nose is like a bomb went off. Like it's so swollen. It's
so
crazy.
bad. That's funny. I feel like I need that in my everyday life where someone's like, hey, it's okay. You don't have to overreact like this. Just relax.
And for anyone out there who does have sensitive, nasal passageway allergies, had, septal problems, you can get swabbed for COVID in the lower part of the nose, just at the very bottom. It's a little bit less accurate. So if like the nasopharyngeal swab, the one where it feels like they're touching your brain, if that's like the gold standard, 99% accurate, then the lower passages are maybe like 92 to 95% accurate. So it's not that much worse. So definitely I have patients where I tell them, we're swabbing down there. The mouth, the buccal mucosa is like 85% sensitive. So even for children who don't want to let you go up in the nose, that could be an option. And I'm definitely going to look into the anal swabs as a
for your practice. For your practice, just to scare your patients.
Yeah, he went so like there was blood. Like I don't know.
Well, your mucosa is also very dry because of all the allergies you have.
So the humidifier.
Yeah. Did you use it?
Gave me. I use it religiously. Like my hair. I wake up, my hair like this side because it's on this side of my bed, and I bought a nightstand just for the humidifier. And it looks like a jungle in my room. And I just sit there, my pillow's wet, my hair's wet, like my sheets are wet.
Yes.
But like I wake up now and I don't have the same, and I use apricot oil all day.
Amazing.
I use it in my nose all day.
So to everyone listening, what she's talking about, so inside the nose, if you have really bad allergies and really bad dryness, what I suggested to Nina and what she's suggesting to everyone is humidifier by your bed at night. And it's a weird thing when you first start it because like she said, your pillow's wet, your hair is wet, your face is wet. It's weird. It's
it's
awkward.
not like you see those little ones that have like the little no.
Yeah.
This one, it's like a jungle.
Yes.
And I just accept all the wetness because I wake up and I still have like rocks in my eyes when I wake up. Because I think it's like eczema on the inside of my eyelid. I don't know. I'm scared to WebMD it, but I put like omega oil in my eyes, like in my actual eyeball. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, that's safe. That's safe to do.
He's looking at me like,
I don't know.
I don't know. There's probably better drops. There's better drops than that, but
because I feel like it needs extra lube.
Yeah.
Because it's something so dry on the inside of my eyelids, but the humidifier has changed everything for me.
I love that.
And the apricot oil, it makes it, because it'll get so like it'll burn a little sometimes out of nowhere, and then my allergies will just flare up if I just touch it.
Yeah, just from you pushing on your turbinate. And the apricot oil we get from Whole Foods, put it into an eyedropper. And you can do this at home if you're listening. You literally just put apricot oil in an eyeyedropper and then one drop in each nostril. Yeah. And it just keeps everything nice and smooth and moist. And it takes away a lot of that dryness symptoms that people have.
You would think like a life of just being tormented by allergies could be like a humidifier and apricot oil. Like if someone told me that years ago, I would be like, okay.
Oh, I'm so happy.
But like,
I'm so happy.
Actually has made such a difference.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, today's follow-up appointment is done.
Thank you.
All right, let's do another one. What about this one? ByteDance slashes jobs in India amid ongoing TikTok ban.
ByteDance slashes jobs in India amid TikTok ban. Well, ByteDance is the Chinese version of TikTok. In India, TikTok's banned, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, false.
False. It's true. It's true. It's true. So they actually slashed a 2,000 person India office on Wednesday after they decided to maintain the ban on TikTok and 58 other Chinese-owned apps.
Oh,
so TikTok's still not available in India. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Do you notice that on your content?
Yeah.
Because on Instagram, do you have people from India who are commenting?
People from India. Mhm.
But on TikTok, you don't.
No. So that's why I have a Triller.
Ah, Triller. Triller is in India right now?
Triller is American owned.
Oh, okay. It's American
So
only.
a lot of people in India have access to Triller.
Got it.
So I have a lot of.
Whatever happened to like the threats of banning TikTok in the US?
I think since Trump doesn't have Twitter, we don't know. Is he ever getting his Twitter back to tell us?
I thought the Chinese were doing some espionage with TikTok and that they were going to potentially ban it.
Right. I don't know.
I think that kind of went away, right?
I think it kind of just
People just like
everything
TikTok
else.
too
Sometimes
much.
it just disappears.
It's too big. It's too big to go. It's like
There's
too big
no
to
way
fail
they were
now.
going to
Yeah.
let TikTok go.
Yeah, it's
There's
just
no
too
way.
big. There's so much monetization on it now.
And TikTok has so much influence on like the youth
Yeah.
that you can literally put anything out there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right, let's do one more. What about...
Can we show her the picture of Tom Brady?
Yeah, let's do that one. That's a good one. So we're going to show you a picture of Tom Brady.
Do you know who Tom Brady is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
And
hopefully
we're
we
going to
can get
ask
the-
you if he's had, in your opinion, any work done.
I'm ready.
We want to
Okay,
know
I'm
what
ready.
you think and give us your plastic surgery consultation right now. Tom Brady. Oh, here you go.
So basically, when Tom came into, Tom's been what, 20 years or at least in the
20
league?
years, yep.
Something like that. Obviously, good-looking guy, obviously, but his hairline is a little bit better than it used to be, and his
Yeah, no, let's just...
chin is looking a little stronger.
He's
than
got to
it used
keep
to
up
be.
with Giselle.
I'm going to show her this before and after. Let's just show this. I want you to give me your context. What has he had done? All right, here we go. Tell us your thoughts. Has Tom Brady gotten work? Fact or fiction? We're going to hear it from Nina Drama herself.
Let's see. How long are these
20
pictures?
years. Those pictures are from 20 years.
20 years.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely aged well.
Very well.
I mean, he could have lost weight. I know as you get older, as a man, you start to chisel out in the face. And he's also like a pro athlete. So there's that. I don't know. Did he have like cool sculpting in his jaw?
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it's
I don't
just
know. I
more-
feel like there's probably like some HGH that's making the jaw stronger, or testosterone, or something.
Or maybe
You
he's
can't-
Like,
you know,
how is he so good still? So there's something that's helping him play better. That's keeping him looking stronger and younger.
They have those
and
balls.
then he's also for sure, in my opinion, there's something hairline related for sure.
You think he did his hair?
There's something in the hair. I mean, his hair looks better now than 20 years ago.
Maybe he's just Tom Brady. He's just genetically
No,
superior.
I'm sure he's getting, Brazilian, home cooking, and that's making him feel young.
So is that where your hair comes from, Jeff?
Yeah,
The more you
exactly.
look at it, the more you look at it, I don't know.
He's
But
a
I
handsome-
do remember you saying good plastic surgery is surgery you don't know you had.
Exactly.
That's
done.
right.
So
That's right.
Exactly.
even if he did, he looks great.
Good work regardless.
Good work
Right.
Whether he did or didn't.
Yeah. You ever see those balls on like their jaw developers? I
Oh,
see
the
them on TikTok.
clenchers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
those
don't
are...
know if those actually.
So those are really dangerous. I would not recommend anyone use those. So I know you're talking about you clench them to make your masseter muscles stronger,
yeah.
but the problem is that can cause severe TMJ.
Yeah.
So the temporomandibular joint, it can get really, you can crack down on your teeth. You can make the joint really severe. You can give yourself headaches. You can give yourself actually dentition fractures. So I don't
It can just
recommend those
make your
stress balls.
jaw very sore, and that can cause headaches and just like pain here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I
people
don't
who do them
recommend
too
those
much.
balls.
No.
I actually just did an episode on German TV, and they had 3 different patients do 3 different treatments to get their jawline stronger.
Yeah, I remember this.
One was a dude who chewed on those balls to make his
Yeah.
jawline stronger. Another girl got that sculpting thing, like with the Asian sculpting thing.
The roller thing.
The roll.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a roller. It was like this weird sculpting thing. Like they sculpt the muscles. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the third one came to me for jawline fillers. And then they compared all 3 at the end, and obviously I won. You can't beat jawline fillers.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I do not recommend those chewing balls.
With fillers, does your body eat it?
Yeah. So the fillers, they're made of hyaluronic acid, which is like naturally. Nina's never done anything, by the way. So anyone questioning a relationship, she's never done anything. Totally natural. But fillers is hyaluronic acid, and you inject it into the skin. It's the same stuff that's in our bodies.
Yeah.
And then your body naturally dissolves it. So our body eats up hyaluronic acid with an enzyme called hyaluronidase, which naturally we have in our bodies too. So our body actually eats up the filler over time. So
I
it
always
naturally
wondered,
gets
where,
dissolved.
how your body got rid of it, but I didn't know it was made with hyaluronic acid.
Yeah, hyaluronic acid, and then your body has hyaluronidase. So your body just turns it over, just like it does your normal joints. And then your body creates new hyaluronic acid. So there's a constant turnover of hyaluronic acid in our bodies, and that's how the fillers end up getting dissolved.
That's so interesting.
I know. But yeah, I think Tom Brady, whether he's had work or not work, like you said, good plastic surgery just goes unnoticed.
Surgery. And you have to wonder how many times he's like broken something.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
being a quarterback
Yeah, and 20 years
and
now.
getting like just pummeled all
I
the
know,
time.
all the time, all the time.
Imagine.
But what a legend! He's Super Bowl
Unbelievable.
11th appearance
Yeah.
or 10th appearance,
Something like that.
something like that. Yeah, most
More
of
than half
ever.
of seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, that he's been in the NFL, which is insane. Are you? What's your like number one fan base? Would you say is it kids? Is it adults?
I think it's
I thought we established it was creepy people sending your DMs. Yeah?
it's on TikTok. It's mostly kids,
Kids. Okay.
and then on Instagram, it's like between I want to say like 20 and 34,
20 and 34. Okay.
like that era.
I've noticed a lot of my friends, like we have a mutual friend that I'm very close with, Adam W. And, one thing I've noticed with his content and what he always talks about is how he's gone way more family friendly.
Yeah.
And it's because of all the kids that are now becoming such huge monetization. I mean, it's just amazing how many young kids will buy the merch and do all that stuff. And so it's like staying really family friendly is so much more important now than ever.
I also think it's important too, because there are so many people out there that are influencers and creators that don't always navigate towards the consideration of the youth. And I don't mean that in any type of way, but
Ooh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I think it's really important to, for instance, like Adam, he's very family friendly.
Very.
And I think it's really important for people like Adam to have the platform
Mm-hmm.
that they do have, because they are creating a space for the youth.
Yeah.
And the youth needs people like Adam.
Right. Yeah, because there's a lot of people who have that platform, like you said, who don't take them into consideration. And they create a negative space, not intentionally. But they are creating a negative space for
Because
youth.
you can't like, kids are gonna, I mean, I don't even know how you really monitor on Instagram, but now you give a kid a phone, he's looking at everything.
I know.
And there are a lot less people like Adam that are as considerate. Like he thinks about the language he uses, the jokes he's using, the things he's saying, things that are being implied. He thinks about all of it. Like you'll never hear him curse or nothing. He always really takes into consideration the youth, and I think sometimes it's a lot harder to do because there's a lot less room for error.
Right.
And there's a lot more pressure. But I mean, Adam excels in that area. Like he's truly like one of a kind. Yeah.
One of a kind. Sure. All right. Now, because of that, Adam, you have to come on next.
Right?
No, this is amazing. What a great conversation, because it's just so refreshing to get like the deeper insight. Because again, everyone just thinks like, to have as many 2 million followers, like, oh, like she must just wake up in the morning and live a great life. And they don't realize how much work goes into it.
That was what we confirmed was true.
Yeah, that she sips mimosas at her mansion.
Mimosas and mansions.
Mimosas and mayo off the roof.
Yeah. But so many good pearls today, so many good little lessons. And I think it's great for like young entrepreneurial people, boys and girls, to kind of understand that you have to have, it's okay to have those 10 browsers open, those 10 plates, a little
Yeah.
food on each one, and keep working on them all. You don't have to be like 100% finished with one task to move to the next. It's okay to
Yeah.
have multiple browsers open.
Yeah, I think, and I also think it's important because, for instance, me as a person, I'm one of those people that's like a jack of all trades and a master of none. So I've always been doing a lot of this, but never really focused on one thing because I either have never found it or I don't think that there's anything that I can actually do and excel in singularly. But I think a lot of the times, like when we put all of our eggs in one basket, that's where all of the motion and attachment comes. I think that's it's hard to
Because you have
let
nothing
that go.
else.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Beautiful points today. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Nina.
You're welcome.
This
Thanks
is
for
such an
having
honor
me.
to have you on. Yeah, our
I like
pleasure.
it here.
And everyone go to Nina Drama on Instagram and TikTok. I mean, it's amazing. I genuinely like your content. Not even that
Oh,
because I know you. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I was just upset that you didn't tell me to watch your stuff sooner.
It's hilarious. I mean, your
It's
brain
so
works in an
silly.
amazing way.
I'm just happy it works.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for
on. I
coming
really
on.
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
All right. Well, gosh, that was great. She's so insightful.
Yeah, I mean, I think she made some really great points about how to make it, how to stay, and surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah. Yeah. Attach yourself to
That's
those who
very
want to
good
be
advice.
attached to
and
you.
I think that advice, like I said, translates to any industry, even medical students. It's
yeah.
every industry.
Yeah. There's no one who shouldn't attach themselves to things that want to be attached to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I guess before we go, I wanted to circle back on this whole humidifier thing because I know I've heard you talk about it before and it was mentioned here. So I know there's things that it helps on the inside. So things like allergies. Does it also, I've heard you mention maybe do some stuff for the skin
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
what else does it do for you?
Yeah, humidifier, like we were talking about with Nina, is I think one of the most beneficial things you can have in your life. Everyone should have a humidifier, in my opinion, right next to their bed. Ultrasonic cool mist humidifier. It doesn't have to be a certain brand, but any humidifier right next to your bed at night. It's really awkward the first couple of nights because it gets your face wet. So it's a little weird because we're not used to moisture.
Right.
We're used to such dry environments, AC on, the fan running.
Right.
And so this is like taking us back to humidified concepts of breathing and living. But it humidifies the skin, humidifies your hair, and humidifies the inside of your nose while you're breathing and sleeping at night. So it keeps everything nice and moist. But with the skin especially, that humidification, instead of waking up with dry, kind of chalky, chapped skin, it wakes up super smooth. It's like putting on chapstick on your lips and you're going to bed. Same concept.
Wow.
So I am a huge fan. I think one of the easiest and quickest and fastest beauty tips is humidification of your skin at night because it's 8 hours for free. You don't have to do anything. The humidifier does it for you. So I think it's one of the easiest beauty tips that people can do to humidify their skin.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
So let's try it. Let's try it. and are you still once a week shampooer?
Oh, maximum.
Maximum.
It depends. Sometimes if there's a special circumstance, like going in the ocean or something where you kind of need to. I get it. Well, I want to just repeat this every time. I shower once to twice a day. I just only shampoo it once a week.
That's a very necessary clarification.
Because I run water through and I run my hands through it. I just think that it needs some natural oils a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
That's basically my product. It's instead of putting wax, I just have my own.
So you use no products at all?
Bare, like a little, like less than a dab of
pomade or wax?
Like pomade.
Okay. But that plus the natural oils you feel like really makes the better mixture.
Yeah, I would say I don't even like get a dip on the finger. I touch my finger to like the top.
Okay, wow.
So you can't even see it. And then that is rubbed on top of the whole hand and just like tossed through it a little bit.
Got it. Yeah. That's the best beauty tip of the day. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Great lineup of guests coming this season. So continue listening, sharing, subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please continue to put them on YouTube, put them on Instagram. We are here and we will continue to filter through all your comments. Thank you guys so much for listening.